Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if the gods read about Naruto Percy Jackson. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by Naruto crossover Mayhem and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. It was the day of the winter solstice and as usually the throne room was in chaos. Hades, Poseidon and Zeus were arguing about who was better. Hera was yelling at Hephaestus and Ares who had been fighting minutes before. Apollo and Hermes were being yelled at by Demeter for pranking her garden earlier that day. Dionysus was drinking a Diet Coke watching Apollo, Hermes, Hephaestus and Ares get yelled at while reading a wine magazine. Athena, Artemis and Hestia were talking to each other in front of the hearth. Suddenly there was a bright flash of light and multiple thuds and cries of ow. The light faded revealing quite a few teens. The teens are Percy Jackson, Annabeth Chase, Nico D'Angelo, Grover Underwood. Ow. Grover get off. Percy yelled at the satyr on top of him, not that he knew that. After a few minutes all of the teens, though a few of them had a few bumps and bruises. After a good amount of introductions and explanations mostly of Percy's sake. So why are we all here? Annabeth asked looking at her mother. I am unsure. Athena said just as there was another but smaller flashed and a book landed on Ares' head and bounced off which caused everyone to start chuckling through Hestia was more smiling, then laughing. Hey there is a note on it. Hermes said after he picked up the stack of books. Dear Olympians and demigods. We have decided that it was necessary for you to know what happens in another dimension about a boy named Naruto fighting against all odds and do the impossible. We feel it's necessary that you read this because we need you to understand what we feel a true hero is. This story takes place in the Shinto religion, so there would be some things you won't come. What we have to read, that's Athena's thing, Apollo yelled looking quite comical with his eyes bugged out and jaw on the ground. Naruto. Namika's legend. The book have been enchanted by Hikage to only be opened in the correct order and only with everyone. So don't even think of reading ahead. Athena and Annabeth. Then a long explanation about Naruto world, didn't feel like writing it. Both Athena and Annabeth had extremely sheepish smile on their faces. Sincerely. The Fates and the totally awesome gods, Hermes and Apollo. I told you, we are awesome. Apollo yelled holding out his hand for Hermes to high five only for Hermes to shake his head and ignore his hand. Oh, burn. Artemis said with a smirk on her face. Anyway, who wants to read first? Hermes said pulling out the book. I will. Athena said beating her dog through by seconds which made Annabeth pout for a few seconds. The third great ninja war had just ended. No one was really certain how the war had started but it didn't matter. At the end of the war Konoha emerged victorious but not without a price. Countless shinobi died in the war while many were injured. It was not just Konoha, every village, countries had suffered. Whether it was rain, sand, rock or any other village, the end result was people lost their precious ones. That's so sad, Aphrodite said while having slight tears in her eyes. Everyone couldn't help but agree with the love goddess. It's war died, a lot of people die, Ares said sagely. Athena resumed reading before argument breaks out. In one corner of Red Dragon restaurant sat a lonely figure. It was nighttime in Konoha and people were busy with their lives. Some were still mourning the loss of their loved ones while others were trying to get over their grief. Overall it was a gloomy atmosphere in the village hidden in the leaves. The image appeared and showed a man about 20 years old with wild blonde hair and a body that looked similar to one of Apollo kids. He was handsome. The goddesses except Artemis and Athena blushed at the sight while Annabeth did blush and had to look away from the image. Percy was jealous of the man, pulling Annabeth close to him feeling a little possessive of her. The figure sitting in the restaurant was none other than Minato Namikaze. He was the newly appointed fourth Hokage of Konoha. Minato's story was quite eventual. He was born in the Namikaze clan. The clan was a very small clan in Konoha and were not quite famous. His parents were shinobi of the village who gave their lives in the second great ninja war. As a result Minato never got to spend much time with them. Time passed and Minato resolved himself to become a shinobi and protect the village just like his parents would have wanted him to. Percy was thinking that maybe that this guy wasn't that bad since he was such a badass ninja. Ninja rocks, Apollo said all dramatically while waving his arms. He gets that from you, you know, Poseidon said comically with an interested look in his eyes. Zeus growled at his brother who was snickering into his hand at him. His dream was to become Hokage someday. His life passed and he made many friends. But his closest friends were his classmates Mikoto Uchiha and Kushina Uzumaki. Kushina was his best friend since childhood. At first they didn't get along much because of her loud personality, but Minato saved her from Kumo Shinobi and from there on they became good friends. But the most important person in Minato's life was Mikoto Uchiha. He loved Mikoto from the bottom of his heart. She was one of the best students in his class. She was the heiress of the Uchiha clan and as such was a formidable shinobi who excelled in many ninja arts. See Artemis true love do conquer all, Aphrodite said with a smirk on her face. Shut up slut Artemis said annoyed at the love goddess who was smiling at her. He could still remember the day when he met Mikoto. A video showed up and everyone saw a boy that seems to be throwing knives. Flashback, 10 years ago. A blonde boy could be seen practicing throwing kunai in the training area of the academy of the village. It was already very late, but it didn't matter to the boy. Ever since his parents' death, Minato had resolved himself to become a strong shinobi. He was a good student, he was quite good in ninjutsu and taijutsu. One of his unique traits was he was skilled in fuinjutsu, which didn't go unnoticed by the third Hokage of Konoha, who was taking special interest in training Minato in fuinjutsu. Minato's friend Kushina Uzumaki was also helping him in learning that art. However, there was one thing in which he didn't have much skill, and that was shuriken jutsu. He was pretty much average in that art and as such wanted to improve himself. He had been practicing since the past 1 hour, but was not getting much results. Try to loosen your hands and calm yourself down, said a soft female voice. Minato turned around and saw it was none other than Mikoto Uchiha. She had jet black hair that reached up to her back, had dark black eyes like the rest of her clan. She was fair-skinned and had 2 large bangs falling on her face. She was wearing a dark blue shirt with the Uchiha crest on its back and black shorts. Minato gave a smile in return to Mikoto. They were casual friends in the class. Mikoto was different than the rest of her clan, she was kind, caring and compassionate to others, even to civilian children. However, she was also strict and firm on becoming a formidable kunoichi. Minato admired her for her strength and determination, she was one of the best students in the class. Good to see you Mikoto, but what are you doing here? Asked Minato curiously. Mikoto looked at Minato and smiled. She liked Minato a lot, he was not like most of the boys who would just boast about how great they were. He was a good student and held the kunoichis as equals, and she liked it a lot. Though she hadn't spent much time with him, but she considered him a friend. Her life in her clan was quite strict. The Uchiha were a clan that followed traditions to the book, many times their pride and ego got in the way. Mikoto had to shoulder a lot of responsibilities as she was the clan heir. How she wished to be spoiled like her younger brother Shisui. I was just helping Taji-sensei in finishing some of his paperwork. I saw you here and got curious so I came here. Do you need some help? Asked Mikoto softly with a smile. Yeah well I would like if you could give me some pointers. Said Minato sheepishly and scratched the back of his head. Mikoto chuckled on seeing this, Minato was always a little silly, but she liked that. Sure just follow what I do. Instructed Mikoto seriously. Arigato. Said Minato happily. This was how a great friendship between Minato and Mikoto was born. Flashback end. Esja smiled at the loving scene. Aphrodite squealed at the romantic scene making everyone wince at the loudness. Maybe this man is different from the pig she met thought Artemis, since most males won't accept help from females. Ooh there's no action, I don't want to listen to sappy crap Ares said. Athena kept reading ignoring Ares. A large smile appeared on Minato's face as he remembered that memory. Ever since then he and Mikoto got closer, it was her and Kushina who had helped him in improving their skills. The trio had graduated at the top of the class. Their bonds became a lot more stronger when they were made a genin team under the legendary Sannin, Jiraiya. From there Minato's love for Mikoto grew stronger with each passing day. However he wasn't an idiot too, he knew the Uchiha didn't allow any outsider to marry a member of their clan, lest the clan heiress. As a result he was never able to admit his love for Mikoto. Percy would have to admit that must have sucked for Minato since he imagined that if Annabeth never liked him, he didn't know where he would be without her. Aphrodite squealed again causing everyone's ears to hurt, Apollo started healing everyone, after he was done Athena started reading again. Time passed and the 3 friends quickly became chunin. Minato advanced quickly and was made a jounin. The third great ninja war had started and Minato and his genin team were sent to different fronts to fight. While Kushina and Mikoto had different assignments. Minato lost many friends in the war and one of his students Obsho Uchiha. He was also different from the rest of his clan like Mikoto, his personality was similar to Kushina and he shared Minato's dream of becoming Hokage. Minato was deeply saddened by his sudden death. Percy remembered Bikonda's death and started to feel guilty again. Annabeth seeing this whispered in his ear. It wasn't your fault seaweed brain, he scriffed himself so stop thinking about it, Annabeth said while gently holding his hand comfortably. Thanks wise girl said Percy. Athena didn't like the sea spawn close to her daughter, so she started to read faster. Despite the turmoil of his feelings, Minato led Konoha to victory through his skills. The most deadly being his Hirishin, his teleportation technique based on the second Hokage's jutsu. Due to his heroic efforts, bravery and wisdom, he was chosen at the 4th Hokage of Konoha. He had finally achieved his dream, but still he wasn't able to tell Mikoto about his feelings for her. As if someone had heard his thoughts he heard a voice call him. "Why is the great fourth Hokage of Konoha sitting alone?" asked a soft familiar voice. Minato looked up and saw it was his love Mikoto. She had become quite strong and beautiful in the past decade. Her jet black hair now reached up to her back, her eyes were more brighter than before, and her Sharingan eyes made her look more sexy and dangerous. She had C-cup breasts and a slim body. She was a formidable jounin of the village. An image showing Mikoto now. It was the gods' turn to blush at the sexy woman, and most of them had trouble looking away from her curve. Apollo said, still eyeing the beauty before him. Hermes took out his phone and started taking pictures for later, maybe he could sell them for money. "Finally got time to see me, Mikoto-sama," joked Minato. "Is that how you greet me? It's been so long since we've seen each other, I thought you forgot about me." "I'm hurt," said Mikoto with a pout. Minato chuckled on seeing this. Mikoto just looked so much adorable. He signaled her to sit with him, which she gladly accepted. Mikoto then noticed Minato was a little sad. This hurt her a lot. She really liked Minato, for her he was a person with whom she would like to spend her entire life. She secretly loved Minato, but since he had never mentioned about his feelings, she hadn't confessed her feelings for him yet. "Are you okay?" asked Mikoto warmly and put her hands on Minato's hands. "Somewhat, we have lost so many friends and loved ones. I just cannot believe I lost Obito too," said Minato sadly. "I know, he was the joy of my clan, I wished he was alive now. I wish Rin didn't die too, she was such a nice girl." "How is Kakashi doing?" asked Mikoto sadly. She had met Minato's genin team many times, and quite frankly she liked those kids. "He is holding up fine, however Rin's loss has shaken him a lot. This war has costed us a lot," said Minato solemnly. "I'm always there for you, Minato. You can always talk to me," said Mikoto gently and caressed Minato's cheeks affectionately. Minato felt a warm sensation in his gut when he felt Mikoto touching his cheeks. He looked at her beautiful face, one of the things he had learned from the war and Obito's death was their life was short. He then made up his mind, he knew his life was short as a shinobi and he didn't want to die without confessing his feelings for Mikoto. Even if she didn't love him, he would always love her. "Mikoto, I want to say something," said Minato carefully. "What is it?" asked Mikoto curiously. She just felt that it was going to be something very important that may change her life. "I love you," said Minato with a warm smile. Aphrodite squealed. "What?" asked a shocked Mikoto. "I have loved you since long. You are my friend, comrade, you were always there for me. You took care of me, there is no other woman in this village or the entire world whom I love more than you," confessed Minato honestly. "It's okay if you don't have any feelings for me, I understand. But I will always love you and be there for you," said Minato with a wide smile. He was quite surprised when he was grabbed by his collar and before he could think of what was happening, he felt someone's lips kissing him. He looked carefully and saw it was Mikoto who was kissing him. Many emotions were running through his mind, happiness, passion, confusion, love and many more. He didn't know what overcame him, but he kissed her back more passionately. For the people in the restaurant it was one of the most shocking scenes they had ever seen. Their beloved fourth Hokage was kissing the heiress of the Uchiha clan. Many women were glaring at Mikoto for trying to steal Minato, while Minato was receiving the same look from the men. But oblivious to all of this, Minato and Mikoto were in their own dream world. Both of them wished that things should stay this way and were feeling very happy. After a few moments Mikoto broke the kiss much to Minato's protest. He just couldn't resist kissing her more. "What took you so long?" asked Mikoto with a smile. She had a few tears in her eyes. "I didn't have the courage to tell you," said Minato honestly. "Were you afraid you would lose me? How come you are telling me your feelings now?" asked Mikoto curiously. "Yes, I was afraid that I would lose you. And why I'm telling you now is because of Obito," said Minato truthfully. "Obito?" asked Mikoto with a questioning gaze. "Yes, just like how I love you, Obito had feelings for Rin too, but before he could tell her he died. I realized that I may die as a shinobi too, but I didn't want to die without telling you how I feel for you," said Minato with a true smile. "Thank you, Obito," thought Mikoto gratefully. "Do you love me?" asked Minato a little anxiously. "Yes, I love you," Minato said Mikoto with a true smile. A smile which she saw on Minato's face could have brightened up the entire village. He jumped over the table and engulfed her in a bear hug. She was surprised by this sudden reaction, but after a few seconds hugged him tightly and had a large smile on her face. "Oh, they look so cute. Damn, never saw this coming. Congratulations, Hokage-sama." Minato and Mikoto hadn't realized that they were in a restaurant and people were watching them. If it was any other situation they would be ashamed of themselves if they hadn't seen so many people's attention directed on them, but this time it was different, they were in their own world and confessing their feelings for each other. The couple thanked all the people respectively and before the entire village found them here they decided to get out of there. Minato took Mikoto's hands in his own and they both teleported away. When Mikoto opened her eyes she saw they were standing on top of the Hokage monument. She was feeling a little uneasy as she had just been teleported by his Hirshin. Even after traveling with Minato for so many times, she just couldn't totally get accustomed to it. "Are you alright?" asked Minato a little worriedly. "I'm fine, just feeling a little dizzy," said Mikoto tiredly. "Yeah, it happens sometimes. Mikoto, can I ask you something?" asked Minato seriously. Mikoto looked at Minato curiously, she didn't know what was going in his mind right now. "Would you like to marry me and spend the rest of your life with me?" asked Minato hopefully. Well, he certainly was fast, said Hermes, shocked at the sudden proposal. So were the others. No, he wasn't, he loves her so they can get married. Remember, they're at a war-torn world so he could die any moment, so he did the right thing not wanting to die with any regret. Aphrodite said what she thought was right. "Are you okay, Aphrodite?" Apollo said warily, looking at the love goddess cautiously. "Yeah, why?" Aphrodite said, confused at the question. "You said something smart," Artemis said bluntly, while causing Aphrodite to huff angrily before she could retort. Athena kept reading. Mikoto's eyes widened on hearing this. She didn't expect Minato to propose her so quickly, but seeing the look on his face, she understood that he wanted to tell her this for a long time. The confession was the first step of conveying his feelings. She thought about the idea. She would love to marry a man like Minato, but first she thought about her entire position. She was indeed the clan heir of the Uchiha clan, but if she wanted to marry Minato, she would no longer be the clan heiress, but her younger brother Shisui may be able to take her place and lead the clan. Her father was a very nice person and he loved Mikoto very much. She knew her father would understand, and since Minato was the Hokage of the village, it would help in improving the clan's status in the village, and as such the Uchiha clan's elders would agree readily. That would be the end of the formalities, but now came her personal opinion. She knew Minato and Kushina were very close friends, but she wanted to confirm that they were not together and she was not getting in the way between both of them. After all, those two were her closest friends. "Minato, before I give you my answer, can you give me an honest answer to my question?" asked Mikoto seriously. "Hi," replied Minato sincerely. "Do you have any feelings for Kushina?" "It's because I don't want to get in your way, you two are my best friends and I don't want to hurt any of you," said Mikoto a little worriedly. Minato understood what Mikoto was trying to say. It was indeed true he and Kushina were very close friends, but he didn't have any romantic feelings for her. However, it was not the case with Kushina. She really liked Minato, but she never tried to impose her feelings on him. Minato cared about Kushina deeply, but just couldn't love her more than a best friend. "No, I care about Kushina deeply, but only as a best friend. She was our teammate, we practically grew up together, went through a lot of pain together. She may have some feelings for me, but I just love her as a friend and nothing more. The one person whom I love with all my heart is you, Mikoto," said Minato honestly. That was all the confirmation Mikoto needed and she hugged Minato tightly. "Yes, I would love to marry you," said Mikoto happily. Minato hugged her back, his dream had finally become a reality. He had become Hokage, he was acknowledged by everyone in the village, made his clan and his parents proud, and finally had found the lady of his life. Nothing in life could make Minato more happy. They both remained like that for quite some time, enjoying the warmth of each other. Minato then broke the hug as he too had some questions for Mikoto. "Do you think your father would agree to this, Mikoto?" asked Minato curiously. "I think he will, he loves me very much. Ever since my mother's death he had always took care of me and Shisui. He is the reason why the Uchiha clan is still respected a lot. I know there had been some tensions going on during the Second Ninja War, but my father made our clan believe that this was our village too and we were a part of it. He holds you in high regards, most of the members of my clan respect you deeply, you are fair to each and every clan of Konoha and have always treated us respectfully, so I don't think there will be much resistance to this. Shisui can easily take my place and lead the clan. Our clan is not as large as it was before and has been reduced in numbers, but still we would always be loyal to the village, and if I marry you, it would also strengthen your ties with my clan," explained Mikoto briefly. Minato was quite impressed by the thorough analysis which Mikoto had given him about the entire situation. The cards were indeed in their favor, and he liked that. "Wow, that was a very impressive deduction, Mikoto, maybe you should have become Hokage. At least that would mean no paperwork for me," joked Minato and chuckled. "I'd rather be a housewife and raise a family than do that boring work. Thanks but no thanks," said Mikoto jovially. At least I tried," said Minato happily. "Are you sure about this?" asked Mikoto seriously. "Yes, I have made up my mind. I want to marry you and as the fourth Hokage of Konoha, it wouldn't be much problem for me to get your hand from your father," said Minato a little confidently. "Getting overconfident are we?" asked Mikoto slyly with a devious smile. "What have I gotten myself into?" thought Minato a little worriedly as he saw that devious smile on her face. You have no idea, thought Zeus, feeling pity for the male since he was married, he knew all the pain that comes with it. Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage of Konoha, was known in the entire shinobi world as the Yellow Flash. His enemies fled on sight of him, and yet we find him sitting a little nervously in a chair in front of Mikoto's family. It was just him, Mikoto, her father Kagami Uchiha, and her younger brother Shisui. Minato felt a little uncomfortable since Kagami was staring at him for the past few moments. His stern black eyes really were getting on Minato's nerves. So you want to marry my daughter Hokage-sama? Said Kagami seriously. Please, Minato is fine, Kagami-sama. Yes, I love Mikoto with all my heart and I want to marry her. Said Minato sincerely and gave a firm gaze to Kagami, indicating he was absolutely sure about this. Will you keep Mikoto Ni-chan happy, Minato-sama? Asked Shisui honestly. I promise that. Said Minato truthfully. I guess Mikoto agrees with this and is content with this proposal. Asked Kagami. He then gave a warm gaze to his daughter. In truth, he was more than happy that her beloved daughter had chosen a man like Minato. Kagami respected Minato. He had indeed inherited the will of fire, which Kagami's sensei Tabarama Senju spoke of. Also, Kagami's best friend Hiruzen also held Minato in high regards. The entire village loved Minato, and Kagami was more than ready for this proposal, but as a clan head and a father, he had to make the young couple understand the importance of this matter. I too, San, I love Minato too and want to spend my life with him. I request you accept our wish and give us your best wishes. Said Mikoto softly. You realize that if you marry Minato you cannot be the head of this clan and won't have much say in the clan affairs. Such a marriage has not been done before. Are you willing to let go of your clan to marry Minato? Asked Kagami seriously. He had high hopes from Mikoto and his daughter had fulfilled his every wish and had made the Uchiha clan very proud. I know too, San, but I believe in a few years Shisui can lead our clan better than me. I will always be devoted to our clan whether I am Minato's wife or not. The Uchiha clan is my family and I shall never forsake them. Said Mikoto firmly and gave her father a determined look. Kagami's face relaxed and a wide smile came on his face. Shisui had already known what his father was doing and was happy for his sister. Then you have my blessings. I will make sure the others in the clan agree with this. However, there is a certain condition for this marriage to happen. Said Kagami seriously. What is this condition? Asked Minato curiously. If any of your children manage to awaken the Sharingan, they shall also have to adopt the Uchiha name, along with your clan's name. They will also have to fulfill certain responsibilities towards this clan. The Sharingan is our Kekai Genkai, and your children will be part of our clan too. Also, before you or your children decide to marry another person from another clan, they shall have to consult with the current head of our clan. We will not impose our ideals or ambitions on them, but we just would like to know about their reasons for this. That's all. Explained Kagami briefly. Athena had a thoughtful look on her face, wondering if there was a something why it's important to the child to have their clan name when he wasn't from the clan. Minato thought about the condition briefly. If his son-daughter awakened the Sharingan, then they would also inherit the Uchiha name. He didn't have any problems with that as they would also be Mikoto's children, and she had a right to give them her clan name too. Next were their responsibilities in the Uchiha clan. He knew Kagami was an honest person, and so was his son Shisui. They wouldn't try to use his children for power. The last condition was a little strange, but Minato had to agree with it. I accept your conditions only on one condition, that my children won't be forced to do anything against their wishes. I wish to marry Mikoto and I have faith in you and the Uchiha clan, but I shall not do this at the cost of my children's future by any member of your clan or any other person. Said Minato strictly. Kagami could feel the pressure in Minato's voice. This was the voice of a Hokage. He was happy that such a firm man was going to marry his daughter, a man who valued family. Shisui was satisfied by Minato's answer. In truth, he wouldn't even dream of hurting his nephew-niece. They would be precious to him and he would make sure that no one forces them to do anything. I give you my word, Minato, please take care of my daughter. Requested Kagami with a warm smile. Mikoto was feeling a lot more happy. She was proud of Minato. He cared about her clan's future as well as the future of their own children. He was a responsible man and Mikoto was happy that she had made the best decision of her life by choosing to marry Minato. The thought of a little blonde boy running around her house made her heart feel more warm. She just couldn't wait to have her own children. She would shower her children with love and she and Minato would make sure that they would be the best parents in the whole world for their children. Mikoto knew one thing, that soon all her wishes will be fulfilled and she would be a proud wife and lovely mother to her son. Athena closed the book, having a lot of things to think about before saying, well, who wants to read next? The son of Poseidon will, ordered Zeus. Well said, boy, hope he can read, if not he going to embarrass himself. Athena tossed the book towards Percy, who caught it and read the first line and surprised he could read it well. Chapter 2. Time skip, 4 years later. Percy started reading. It was September 15, an ordinary night in the village hidden in the leaves. The village had recovered greatly in these last few years. Its military strength was back to its full capacity and the village was economically stable. That's good because if their enemies caught wind that they were weak and vulnerable, they might go back into war, and that's the last thing they need, Athena commented, not wanting a boring lecture about defense and war strategy. Percy sped up reading, ignoring Athena and Annabeth glare that was net towards him, while Poseidon was giving him the silent thumbs up. People were living their lives peacefully in the village. It was all possible because of the fourth Hokage Minato Namikaze's efforts. Tonight, the entire village was a lot more livelier than usual. Many of the people were celebrating, the reason was also very special. Konoha had achieved victory in the third great ninja war on this day. Also today was the day when the child of their beloved fourth Hokage was going to be born. Almost the entire village was eager to see the child being born. Hera and Artemis were smiling at the good news since their domains is childbirth and motherhood. On the outskirts of the village stood a lone figure. This person was none other than Kushina Uzumaki. Yes, catfight, joked Apollo, getting Hermes and Ares to agree with the sun god. Pigs, Artemis said, looking at all three of them with an annoyed look. Kushina's life had changed a lot in these years, if you could say a major part of her had died during these years. She was devastated when Minato married Mikoto, but she did not bore any ill will towards them. She knew that Minato was always attracted to Mikoto, during their time as a team both of them were very close. She did her duty as a shinobi, but with each passing day a part of her died when she saw Minato and Mikoto together. She had lost faith in the shinobi world and her life after seeing the horrors of the third great ninja war, she just didn't care about anything anymore. Wait, why? Annabeth said questionably. Because she had her heart broken, Annie, Aphrodite said smartly, knowing exactly what's going on in that poor woman's heart. She could still remember the day when Minato had talked with her. The video appears. Flashback. Kushina Uzumaki was standing in the Hokage's office. She was happy to see Minato after such a long time, she had been away on missions and as such had missed Minato. Minato gave her a small smile which Kushina reciprocated it with her wide smile. How are you, Minato-kun? It's been a long time, Dadabeo, said Kushina happily. Minato felt a little guilty, he was feeling very sad that he would have to break Kushina's heart. Kushina, it's good to see you, replied Minato curtly. Where's Mikoto? I haven't seen her since I've arrived, said Kushina confusedly. It's because she is making preparations for her marriage, said Minato, dropping the bombshell on Kushina. What? When? How did this happen? Who is the guy? Yelled Kushina frantically. Minato chuckled a little, this was Kushina's typical behavior which he and Mikoto had got used to. She was going to tell you, but since you are here I'll tell you. But please calm down, said Minato, he then went towards her and surprisingly hugged her. Kushina was a little startled by this, but she hugged him too, she felt a lot happy when she was this close to Minato. It was her dream to be with him, to spend her life with him. We are getting married, I and Mikoto-chan are getting married, said Minato sadly. He knew it must be very painful for her and was trying his best to convey it to her less painfully. Kushina was shocked on hearing this, it was as if someone had stabbed her in the back. The man she loved, with whom she wanted to have a family, was marrying her best friend. This can't be happening, said Kushina with tears in her eyes. Her voice was becoming more choked with each passing moment. Minato for his part hugged her more tightly, he knew she must be broken, but he had to do this. I'm sorry, Kushina. I love you, but only as a best friend. We have been through a lot together, you are precious to me, but please understand I love Mikoto-chan, begged Minato. Find someone with whom you can spend the rest of your life. It is possible to live as a Jinchuriki if you fill yourself with love. Kushina remembered those words, these were said by Mito Uzumaki, the wife of Shodai Hokage, who was the previous Jinchuriki. She told Kushina that she could also live a happy life despite being a Jinchuriki. I love you, Minato, I have loved from the day we became friends, we used to hang out together, fight together, I just can't live without you. Begged Kushina and broke the hug so she could look Minato straight in the eyes. Minato's heart broke into 1,000 pieces when he saw how much broken Kushina was, her eyes were full of tears, it was as if she was desperate. You deserve someone better than me, Kushina. I am not worthy for you, said Minato and averted his eyes from her. No. Kushina. This can't be happening, yelled Kushina and grabbed Minato by his shoulder. Minato, please don't do this, I cannot live without you. You are everything to me, requested Kushina in a broken voice. Kushina, please understand, I love Mikoto, I care about you as my best friend. I cannot pretend to love you, it would mean betraying all of us. Please, requested Minato in a sad voice. Mito-sama, you lied to me. I don't have anyone, my life, my pain. Why did this happen to me? What did I ever do to deserve this? Thought Kushina sadly. But these dark thoughts in mind, Kushina went out of the room with a broken heart. Minato just stood there with a sad expression on his face. Flashback end. Athena was looking at the video closely and she could tell when a person is going into darkness and it looks like the leaf just got an enemy that can be used against them when she sees the darkness in the girl's eyes. A lone tear slipped from her eyes. Since that day she couldn't maintain a friendship with Minato and Mikoto. Both of them had tried many times to help her, but whenever she looked at Minato, she couldn't suppress the pain in her heart. She didn't have much friends and as a result she started to get isolated. She joined the Anbu Black Ops to escape from her pain, but even after risking her life on dangerous missions her pain didn't went away. The day was the day when Minato and Mikoto's child was going to be born. The day it could have been the birthday of my son, thought Kushina sadly. Another person appeared behind her in a vortex. He was wearing black robes with red clouds on it. His face was covered by an orange mask. He had spiky black hair and his Sharingan was visible through a hole in his mask. "Hello Kushina," said the man seriously. Kushina just gave a nod in return, she just couldn't continue to live like this, she had even tried to end her life but was unsuccessful. She just didn't have anything left to live. "Have you made up your mind yet?" asked the person calmly. "Yes. This world is full of lies and deception Kushina. There can be no peace in this world, people like us who survive are trash. This is a pointless reality where no one can become happy. Join me and we shall create a world full of peace and happiness," offered the man seriously. "Will your plan work? Can we really succeed in creating such world?" asked Kushina seriously. "Yes, in our world, you can be with Minato, have your own family, friends, you can have every happiness you desire. No more wars, no fighting, living in peace. But before that I need to ask you something," asked the man seriously. "What do you want to ask Madara?" asked Kushina irritatingly. The man named Madara chuckled a little, Kushina was indeed very short-tempered. "Do you feel anything for the people of this world?" asked Madara sternly. Kushina's entire life flashed in her mind, the destruction of her clan and village, the death of her parents, her being brought to Konoha to become a Jinchuriki, Mito's false words, her time with Minato, Mikoto and Jiraiya, the war where she saw so many deaths, the pain when Minato married Mikoto, her life full of loneliness and sadness. Her eyes hardened after remembering all that. Madara saw the look in her eyes and a wide smile cracked behind his mask. "Things are going better than I planned," thought Madara with a smirk. "This place, this world I don't care about it anymore," said Kushina sternly with all emotions leaving from her eyes. "So it begins. This doesn't look good for them everyone thought wondering what it means for that world. X. In a secluded room in the hospital lay a woman. She had jet black hair and dark black eyes. Her face was beautiful, but right now she was going through an unbearable pain. She was none other than Mikoto Namikaze Uchiha, wife of the 4th Hokage and former heiress of the Uchiha clan. "Ahhhh," screamed Mikoto as she was trying to give birth to her soon-to-be-born child. By her side was her husband, Minato Namikaze, who looked very nervous and worried. He had not been so much frightened in his entire life, but seeing Mikoto in so much pain was unbearable for him. "It's going to be okay," soothed Minato in Mikoto's ears as she went through another pain. She clutched his hand tightly in order to receive some more comfort. "It hurt," said Mikoto as tears rolled from her eyes. "Please Mikoto-sama, you need to push a little further, you are almost there," said the female head medic. "You can do this Mikoto, hang in there," said Minato and wiped away her tears and gave her a soft kiss on her forehead. Despite being exhausted, Mikoto felt a little happy as Minato was there beside her. She too was doing everything she could to bring her firstborn child into this world. She was escalated when she was told that she was going to become a mother. Her dream was finally becoming a reality, she was just one step away from seeing the face of her beloved child. With renewed strength and courage, she willed herself to not give up. She started the painful process once again, but this time she went further without stopping. This process continued for a few more moments until a cry was heard in the entire room. Mikoto was panting heavily, while Minato was having a few tears in his eyes as he saw the medic cut the umbilical cord gently. Mikoto watched with blurry eyes as the medics washed the blood of her child. The medic then came forward with a baby wrapped up in a bundle of cloth. "Congratulations Mikoto-sama, it's a boy," said the medic happily and gently handed over the baby to Mikoto. The infant had blonde hair like Minato, but instead of being spiky like Minato they were very silky, the baby had two short blonde locks falling on his small face. He was fair-skinned like Mikoto and had almost the same facial structure as her. Tears were freely flowing from Mikoto's eyes as she felt complete. This was her child, her own flesh and blood. He was the most beautiful baby for her in the entire world. The infant then slowly opened his eyes and Mikoto's breath got caught in her lungs when she saw his innocent black eyes. They were the same as hers. The infant then gave a small smile to Mikoto, and this moment would forever be arched in her memory as the most beautiful sight in her life. All the goddesses and Annabeth cooed at the cute baby while the male rolled their eyes at them. "I love you, my Sachi," said Mikoto warmly and embraced her son. "He just looks like you, Mikoto-chan. Thank you for being with me and making me a father," said Minato happily and kissed Mikoto softly. He then gently took his son in his arms. The infant was a little hesitant when Minato took him from Mikoto. The boy then looked at Minato in what may appear to be confusion. It was as if his innocent black eyes were observing Minato carefully. Minato chuckled on seeing this. His son was indeed a very keen observer. On hearing Minato's laugh, the infant also smiled in an innocent manner. "So what should we name him?" asked Minato happily while holding his son. "I was thinking we should name him Itachi, but I want you to name him. He is our son, and as a father I think you should name him," said Mikoto with a warm smile. "Thank you, Mikoto-chan. I was thinking about the name in Jiraiya-sensei's book," said Minato, but was cut off when Mikoto gave him a very stern glare. "Minato Namikaze, if you are planning to name my son after Jiraiya-sensei's pervy books, then I'll," said Mikoto, but was cut off when Minato quickly shook his head. Minato knew Mikoto was a very kind and gentle wife, but when it came to her children she was very protective. The fact that she hated the Icha Icha series was also a point which she had made clear to Minato very gently. "I meant the Tale of Gutsy Ninja, the name of the main character of that book," said Minato quickly. The baby laughed when he saw Minato's face. It was as if all of this was funny to him. Mikoto also laughed when he saw that her son was happy. "You want to name him Naruto?" asked Mikoto softly. "Who names their son Fishcake?" Annabeth questioned softly. "It means Maelstrom," Apollo said, knowing how to speak Japanese. "Yeah, he will grow up to be a great man just like the hero of the book," said Minato happily. "I guess it isn't so bad name after all," said a new voice. Minato and Mikoto turned around and saw Kagami and Shisui standing there. Kagami's eyes were a little moist and was looking at Mikoto lovingly. Shisui quickly came in front of Minato and gently took Naruto in his arms. "So this is my nephew, he sure looks a lot like you, sis," said Shisui with a laugh. "Why not? He's my son after all," said Mikoto with a warm smile. "Mikoto, I'm really happy for you, my child. You have given me every happiness in this world and finally my grandson. I am proud of you," said Kagami with the biggest smile on his face. "Thank you too, san," said Mikoto with a warm smile. "I just can't wait to teach him all my techniques, sis. If he awakens the Sharingan I'll teach him everything," said Shisui excitedly. Contrary to his clan, Shisui was a very lively person. He was the same as his mother. "Hey, I'm here too, you know. I also want to teach my son many things," said Minato excitedly. "Hold your horses," said Mikoto sternly to both men. Minato and Shisui looked at Mikoto, who was looking at them seriously. "You may teach him when he grows up, but for now he is my baby and I want to spend time with him. And you're forgetting something, I am his mother, so if anyone has the right to teach him first, it's me," said Mikoto with a smirk. "Now that's my daughter," said Kagami with a chuckle. Minato and Shisui both looked at each other and had the same expression on their face. "Women?" All the male agreed with Shisui, while the female. "What the hell is that supposed to mean?" yelled at them, causing all the male to shriek in fear. Unknown location. In a dark room stood 9 people in different directions. One thing which all of them had in common was they were wearing black robes with red clouds on it. The figure standing in the middle had purple eyes and was looking at all the members without any emotions on his face. It was as if he was a corpse. "Today we welcome a new member to the Akatsuki," said the man stoically. At that moment Kushina stepped forward and made herself more visible to the other members of the group. Some of the members were quite surprised when they saw Kushina. Her long red hair were now tied in a long ponytail, she had the Konoha headband on her head, but there was a big slash on it. Her entire body was covered in the Akatsuki robes, and she had a sword strapped on her back. "The Red Death of Konoha, you sure have a lot of bounty on your head," said a man with dark green eyes. "Shut it, Kakuza, this one's pretty, maybe I should offer her to Jashin-sama," said a short man with grey hair. He had a long scythe rested on his shoulders. "Haiden, you and your idiot god are not important. The money is more important than your stupid religion," said Kakazu harshly. "Shut up, Kakuza," said Haiden angrily. "I find it rather interesting that someone like you joined the Akatsuki. What are your intentions?" said a scorpion-like man, he had his face covered by a mask. "It's rude to ask a lady a question without introducing yourselves," said Kushina rudely. She didn't give a rat's ass about any of these people, she was joining just because Madara had told her to. "Sasori of the Red Sands. Former shinobi of Sunagakur," said Sasori curtly. "You sure bring interesting members, Toby," said a black plant-like person but muttered the last part silently. "Indeed. agreed its white counterpart. "You're a Jinchuriki, aren't you? Samahata can sense your chakra," grinned a shark-like man. "Isam Hashigek, former swordsman of the mist. And that bizarre excuse for a sword is sharkskin, I suppose. That sword is pathetic," said Kushina with a smirk. She was amused when Kisam's eyes hardened and he lifted his sword. "Enough." Everyone stopped talking and looked at the man in the center. The only person who had not spoken yet was a woman who was standing beside the man and was looking at all of them without any expression on her face. "The reasons are not important. She has special talents which are required for our purpose, just like all of you," said the man sternly. "But Leader Sama, aren't we supposed to catch people like her for our purpose?" asked Haiden dumbly. "Yes, we do need the Kyuubi, but she is in Uzumaki and as such she won't die when we extract the Kyuubi from her. She has chakra chains that are helpful in subduing Biju," explained the leader neutrally. "Our aim is the same. The 5 great nations are corrupt and it is time for them to feel pain. But before we can put our plans in motion, we need certain resources and preparations for that," said the woman standing beside the leader for the first time. "Kakuza, Haiden, you two will work together from now. Kakuza, you will handle our finances," ordered the leader. "Understood," said Kakaza a little happily. He sure loved money. "Just don't get in my way, Kakuza," barked Haiden, but Kakuza just ignored him. "Isam, you will team up with Kushina. Both of you have certain skills which I need. You will do the missions I give you," said the leader sternly. Kushina just gave a threatening glare to Kisam, saying to be wary of her. Kisam smirked and had a mad smile on his face. "Sasori, you will work on your own. Your job is to find us new potential recruits. Only take the best," said the leader sternly. "Hi Leader Sama," replied Sasori. "Zetsu, you will keep watch on the 5 great nations and keep us informed about their activities," ordered the leader. "It will be fun," said the black part of Zetsu. "We will get the job done," said Zetsu's white part. "The new era has come and we shall lead this world to a right path," said the leader firmly. All the members just stared at him. Kushina just remained impassive, the only thing she was interested in was her own ambitions and she would do whatever it takes to fulfill them. On the top of the cave stood Madara looking at the members curiously. "I wonder how things are going to change. We were lucky that we only have to deal with Chronos S," said Percy, shocked at the group, the hitman that can do tons of damage. Athena and Annabeth was silently thinking what each their weakness might be and strength and hoping that the group doesn't end up in their dimension. Konoha. Minato was sitting in his office. Last night had been one of the best nights of his life. His son was finally born, he was finally a father. Many people had congratulated him. The entire village had celebrated on Naruto's birthday. Mikoto was very happy and she was not willing to let go Naruto from her sights. He was the Hokage so had to assume his duties, but that didn't mean his mind couldn't be with his family. His thoughts then drifted to Kushina. He suddenly felt very sad when he thought about his best friend. In these years, Kushina had started distancing himself from him and Mikoto. She was present at their wedding but only congratulated them with sad eyes. Mikoto and him had tried many times to make her happy and get her life back on track, but she refused to have any kind of relationship with him. She had slowly started becoming a lot more depressed. When Minato had received her request to join Anbu, he had first denied it as he was worried for her safety. But she had insisted quite harshly and Minato had to agree as the Anbu commander readily accepted her proposal. They needed skilled people like her, they had lost many skilled shinobi in the war and as such, he had to do what was right as a Hokage, no matter how much it pained his heart. Since then they had never even heard from Kushina. Mikoto blamed herself for Kushina's misery, but Minato had assured her that it wasn't their fault. Suddenly he was interrupted from his thoughts when an Anbu appeared in front of him. "Hokage-sama, there is an emergency," said the Anbu seriously. Minato schooled his features, he had to do his duty. Personal problems could wait later. "What is the situation?" asked Minato strictly in Hokage mode. "Kushina Uzumaki has been found missing since last night," said the Anbu, shocking Minato. "What?" said Minato loudly. "Hokage-sama, she was assigned patrol duty by the Anbu commander last night, but she has not returned to HQ. We had already started searching her, we checked her posts in the entire village, but there has been no trace of her," explained the Anbu briefly. "This is bad," thought Minato worriedly. Kushina had the Kyuubi sealed in her and if she was missing then something must have happened to her. Did someone attack her? He had assigned some Anbu to watch over her as she was the Jinchuriki. "What about the Anbu squad I had assigned to watch her?" questioned Minato strictly. "They are missing too, Hokage-sama. Right now we are counting them as MIA, missing in action, with the possibility of them being found killed in action," explained the Anbu. "At the best trackers from the Inuzuka, Aburam and Hyuga clans. I want an entire task force of Anbu Black Ops to search for her in the entire Fire Country," ordered Minato firmly. The entire fire country? Asked the shocked Anbu. Yes, we need to find her quickly. Send me the Anbu commander. This information is top secret and you are not to reveal any of its contents to anyone. The penalty for breaking this order is death, said Minato sternly. I said the Anbu confidently. Failure is not an option. Now move, commanded Minato. Yes, sir, said the Anbu and shunshined quickly to carry out his orders. Minato went towards the window in his office, he looked at his village. Dark clouds were surrounding the village, the people were living their lives, unaware of the trouble the village was in. A storm is coming, thought Minato. He was very worried about Kushina. Despite everything, she was his childhood friend, teammate and best friend. He decided not to tell Mikoto about this for now as she had just given birth and he wanted her to look after Naruto. He would find Kushina himself and nothing could stop him. He was the fourth Hokage of Konoha. Kushina, where are you? Well, who wants to next? Percy said, who couldn't believe that their world might go to shit. I do, seaweed brain, Annabeth said, eagerly grabbing the book so she can see what happens next chapter. Chapter 3. Well, who wants to next? Percy said, who couldn't believe that their world might go to shit. I do, seaweed brain, Annabeth said, eagerly grabbing the book so she can see what happens next chapter. The sun slowly rised in the sky and brightened the atmosphere with its warmth. The darkness of the night faded with the shiny rays of the sun which spread quickly in all the directions. The sun is a symbol of hope, a symbol of light. Of course it does, Apollo said smugly. It marked the end of despair and the beginning of happiness. In a small room, a blonde-haired boy slept peacefully in his comfortable bed. He had a peaceful smile on his face. He was none other than Naruto Namikaze. He's gonna be such a lady killer, I just know it, Aphrodite said. Causing the other gods and goddess to groan in dismay. The son of the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze and Mikoto Uchiha. Life had been quite beautiful for this little boy. The 5-year-old little boy heard small footsteps coming towards his way, even in his half-asleep state he could feel the presence of this person. He didn't know why, but he could always recognize other people near him, even if they were not visible. The person then slowly climbed on his bed and was inching closer to him. Naruto could feel the happiness that this person was radiating. Here it comes, thought Naruto with a cute smile. Nai-chan. Naruto's ears cringed a bit on hearing this loud voice, one of these days he would give the person a good lesson on manners. Then again, I can't do that to my Itoto, thought Naruto happily. He slowly opened his innocent black eyes and saw the person who had disturbed his peaceful sleep. It was his younger brother Itachi Namikaze. Itachi was a small 3-year-old boy, he had black spiky hair and blue eyes. His face was very similar to their father, though he looked like a chibi. How many times have I told you not to shout? Asked Naruto kindly. He loved Itachi more than anyone in his family, even more than his mother. Itachi was his younger brother and was the joy of Naruto's life. Oh, said all the females. Itachi pouted and crossed his arms over his small chest. Naruto smiled a little on the antics of his younger brother, he was always very cute. You angry, mumbled Itachi with a pout. The 3-year-old was finding it difficult to speak more than a few words. Naruto chuckled and brought his little hand forward and poked Itachi on his forehead. Sorry about that, said Naruto with a warm smile. HN, said Itachi with a proud look. Naruto raised an eyebrow at Itachi's unique behavior, both of them stared at each other for a few minutes, but then started laughing loudly. Naruto embraced Itachi in a warm brotherly hug, this was the way his day usually started. Naichan Kachan, said Itachi, trying to convey the message. Naruto understood what his younger brother was trying to say. Mikoto must have sent Itachi to wake him up while she prepared breakfast for the family. Their father would usually be reading the newspaper of the village. Alright, let me get ready, said Naruto and slowly got up from the bed. Itachi followed him as quickly as his little legs could take him. Naruto was a little intrigued, usually after waking him up Itachi would run back to their mother, but today he was following him instead. Naruto narrowed his eyes at Itachi, he definitely needed something from him. Alright, what do you need, and don't lie, said Naruto strictly. Itachi just gave him a small sheepish smile and looked at him innocently. Naichan, I want Foxichan, requested Itachi and pointed his small finger at Naruto's shelf, there were a lot of toys there. A smile came on his face when he saw that fox. Why can't our family be like that, Hera said, crossing her arms and stared at Zeus, who was shifting nervously and couldn't think of a reason to why their family is not normal. The video appears. Flashback. The 3-year-old Naruto was right now in a toy shop of Konoha. Mikoto was holding him in her arms, it was his birthday and as such he wanted something. She was very eager to give her son a gift. Mikoto was having a radiant smile on her face, she was quite happy when she saw the most biggest smile on her son's face while he was looking at the toys. Naruto was her life, she loved him the most in the world. It had been a few months since she had given birth to her younger son Itachi. As a result, she was not able to spend as much time with Naruto like before. It did pain her, but she knew Itachi needed her more right now. Surprisingly, Naruto was quite thoughtful and smart. He accepted Itachi happily. Mikoto knew many children would be jealous of their younger sibling at this age. But Naruto was different. He always tried to help her. He would always be beside Itachi. He would always be the first to run to Itachi if he heard him crying. In a way, Mikoto knew Naruto loved Itachi more than her. She was really proud of her elder son. "Ah-chan," said Naruto with a dreamy look in his eyes. "You can have anything you want, my Naru-chan. After all, today is my precious Achi's birthday," said Mikoto warmly and kissed Naruto on his cheek. "You will grow up to be a fine man, Naruto-sama," said the owner of the store. He was an old man who had a flat, wrinkled face. His hair were white, but his eyes showed a lot more kindness. Naruto looked around the store. He was feeling a lot happy. He was spending time with his mother and he loved it. His eyes then settled on a toy. It was a small fox. It had black eyes and small ears. His body was brown-skinned. Naruto immediately loved the toy and quickly pointed his finger at the toy with an eager smile on his face. "You want that?" asked Mikoto kindly. Said Naruto enthusiastically. "Then you will have to do something for Ka-chan too," said Mikoto with a smirk. "But," said Naruto innocently. "No buts, Naru-chan," said Mikoto playfully. Naruto pouted a little. Mikoto and the owner of the store exchanged a knowing look. Naruto contemplated his choices. He really wanted that toy. After a few moments of thinking, he nodded. Mikoto was giggling when she saw how thoughtful Naruto was. "Alright, give Ka-chan a kiss and that toy is yours," said Mikoto and laughed softly. A wide smile came on Naruto's face as he understood Mikoto's message. He happily kissed his lovely mother on her cheek, earning a soft smile from her. Naruto loved her smile. It was one of the most beautiful things in the world for him. "Okay, now you can have it," said Mikoto and paid the owner. The man gave a kind smile in return and handed the toy to Naruto. Words couldn't describe how happy the boy felt. "Ah-chan," said Naruto happily and hugged her lovingly. Mikoto kindly patted her son's back. Her eyes were a little moist. She embraced her son lovingly. "I love you, my Naru-chan." Flashback end. A warm smile came on Naruto's face as he remembered that memory. His mother was truly something else. She loved him and Itachi so much. Naruto couldn't understand how could she love them so much. Naruto then looked at Itachi. He was looking at him with such hopeful eyes. Itachi adored his big brother. He always was so kind and gentle to him, even though he put him in trouble sometimes. "Nai-chan, I want Foxy-chan," requested Itachi with an innocent smile. Naruto ruffled Itachi's hair lovingly and gave him a kind smile. "Why not? Whatever I have is yours as well," said Naruto warmly with a smile. "Nai-chan," yelled Itachi happily and hugged his big brother. "No matter what happens, I'll always love you," thought Naruto and hugged him back. "Now then, let me get ready," said Naruto calmly. "Okay," said Itachi and went to pick up his new toy. Escha was smiling big time at the family bonding. Minato Namikaze was sitting casually on his chair. It was just a regular morning like always. A lot of things were running through his mind. In these past 5 years a lot had changed. He had faced a lot of difficulty during his rule as a Hokage. Since Kushina's disappearance, Danzo and the counselors had started doubting him. They even went as far as to question his ability in front of the entire council. Minato still remembered that day. Another video appears. Flashback. In a small room sat several people. The atmosphere was so much tense that practically everyone was nervous. They had a reason to be. These people were various clan heads and important military personnel of Konoha. On one side sat Danzo Shimura and his associates Hamura and Kaharu. On the other side of the room sat several important clan heads like Hiyashi Hyuga, Kagami Uchiha, Tsumin Yuzuka, Shibi Aburam, Choza Akimichi, Inoichi Yamanaka and Shikaku Nara. In the center of the room sat Minato with the third Hokage Hiruzen Sarutobi by his side. The Anbu commander was on his left flank with his mask on. "Is it true, Hokage-sama?" asked Shikaku neutrally. "Hokage, have we truly lost our Jinchuriki?" asked Danzo distastefully. His voice was almost filled with venom. "This youngster has jeopardized the village. I should have eliminated him long time ago," thought Danzo bitterly. "Yes, it is true, and Danzo, you will address me as Hokage-sama or Hokage Dono, or I would cut your head off this instant and feed it to the dogs," said Minato and leaked so much kai that almost everyone couldn't breathe. The only one who were able to withstand such kai was Hiruzen. Even Danzo couldn't breathe properly. "My apologies, Hokage-sama," said Danzo without any emotion in his voice. "It won't be enough. Since we are in a crisis right now, I'm enforcing military rule and overriding the council," ordered Minato. Everyone in the room was quite shocked to hear this. Minato was the most strict Hokage after Tobirama Senju. After becoming Hokage he had already removed the civilian council from all shinobi affairs, he had totally taken control over them. He next stripped Danzo of his root command, the shinobi of that Black Ops were then formally integrated with the regular Anbu forces. Danzo had been furious and had even tried to gather support, but Minato had publicly cut off his right arm for trying to defy his order. But Danzo was an important man, and since he publicly apologized for his crimes, he was spared and given a seat on the council as an advisor. However, everyone knew Danzo practically had no power now. This made the man furious, but he would wait to take further actions. Minato didn't also believe in the third Hokage's pacifist tendencies, he wanted peace in the shinobi world, but not at the cost of Konoha. Minato changed the entire shinobi system of Konoha. He formed various divisions of special forces, like the barrier teams which were tasked with protecting the village and borders of Fire Country. The Anbu forces were almost doubled after the Third Shinobi War because of integration of root Anbu forces. Almost every Anbu was specialized in one art like infiltration, recon, espionage, assassination, tactical and guerrilla warfare. Konoha has suffered great causalities in the Third Great Ninja War, as a result Minato started the medical corps under the supervision of his wife Mikoto. She was tasked with training young Kunoichi and shinobi in medical ninjutsu. Minato also created various commands like Communication Unit, Intel Unit, Supply Unit and the Decipher Unit. The academy was also totally changed, all the kids were properly trained from the age of 6, their skills would be recognized and they would be given advanced training in their specific arts. Every genin team was properly balanced with a ninjutsu specialist, medic and a genjutsu taijutsu specialist. Genin teams were graduated early at the age of 8 and sent to boot camp for war training. Konoha had the largest and the most lethal military force in the entire shinobi world. All of this was possible was due to Minato's efforts. However, such achievements didn't come at a cost. Minato never spent time with his elder son Naruto, he wanted to be there for his son, but his duties as Hokage always got in the way. It was as if Naruto was born with a bad luck because Minato was able to spend time with Itachi as he was born few years later and the village had stabilized and become powerful back again. Due to Kushina's loss, Minato had to make sure the other villages didn't get the information that Konoha didn't possess a Jinchuriki. He had practically made Jiraiya do all the work. He had tried to hide Kushina's disappearance for 4 years, but now he couldn't anymore. "How long has she been missing?" asked Hiashi Hyuga seriously. Minato looked at that man, the Hyuga clan had started acting a lot more suspicious since he married Mikoto. They had even offered one of their finest brides to marry Minato, but Minato had curtly refused it. The Hyuga clan saw it as an insult as the Uchiha had now more power in the council, Minato knew something was wrong and they were already on thin ice. The Hyuga was a very proud clan, one would say they had a stick up their ass. The Hyuga and the Uchiha always were bitter towards each other and when Minato married Mikoto, they thought that the Uchihas had more power, but that was not true. Minato's main reason for marrying Mikoto was because he loved her. Also due to this marriage, the isolation of the Uchiha clan which had begun since the rule of Tobirama Senju ended. Minato now allowed the Uchihas to join every forces of Konoha and gave them very good positions. By doing this, he earned the trust of the Uchiha clan. They now fully supported Minato, he had indeed stopped the Uchihas from doing something reckless, but the Hyuga were not taking it kindly. The Uchiha still handled the police force of Konoha, but now also worked for the village. Due to this, Konoha's strength increased as the world's most powerful clan was back in their forces instead of maintaining just internal affairs. However, Minato didn't do any injustice to any other clan, all of them were equally important for the village, but the Hyuga wanted him to marry someone from their clan too, so that they could also gain some status, but Minato didn't want to marry someone whom he didn't love. He had explained it to Hiashi, and he had begrudgingly agreed, however Minato had assigned few squads of Anbu to watch the Hyuga clan, just in case. She has been missing for some time. The details are classified with only the Anbu commander and me, I have made every efforts to find her, but so far we have achieved no success. Explained Minato briefly. What were her last whereabouts? Asked Inoichi Yamanaka curiously. She was assigned patrol duty in the North Earth sector of the village, she was to report at Anbu HQ after her patrol, but she never showed up. Said Minato seriously. And the Anbu squad guarding her? Asked Sum suspiciously. They are all MIA, there is no trace of them. It's as if they have been wiped away from the face of the earth. Said Minato irritatingly. It must have been Kumo, they had tried to abduct her in the past. Said Choza angrily. We have not confirmed it yet, Jiraiya-sensei has been searching for her all over the nations and so far he has not found involvement of any hidden village in this incident. Explained Minato briefly. What should we do now, Hokage-sama? Without our Jinchuriki we would be pretty vulnerable. Despite Kushina-san's boisterous behavior, she was one of the most strongest kunoichi of our village, rivaled only by Mikoto-sama and Tsunade-sama. It could be she left the village on her own choice," said Shibe logically. Many council members shivered in fear. Kushina was not someone you would like as an enemy. She was the last Uzumaki and was powerful enough to keep the Kyuubi in control. Her ninja skills were cage level. If she had turned against Konoha, then they would be in deep trouble as she was the Jinchuriki of the strongest and the most fearsome Biju of the world. If the Kyuubi was unleashed then. Minato sensed the fear in the people, and it was justifiable. He was also highly tensed. Jiraiya had reported that there were some fishy talks going between Iwa and Kumo too. He knew Iwa detested Konoha for their humiliating defeat in the Third Great Ninja War. Kumo definitely wanted the Byakugan, and the Sandaime Reikage would try to get it at any cost. Suna was recovering from their losses. Right now they were Konoha's allies, but Minato knew there was no such thing as alliance between hidden villages during the war. Kiri was in a civil war right now. A rebellion had been started against the Yondaime Mizukage. He was eliminating all the bloodline clans. Reports were saying he had gone mad and was receiving support from Kumo on the condition that they would give them a bunch of the bloodline shinobi for their research. All in all, the world was in chaos. And was heading towards the Fourth Great Ninja War, even though no one could see it right now. Minato knew that within a year or two war would be at Konoha's doorsteps. Plus there had been news of a new organization called the Akatsuki. Right now they were being hired by Iwa and were small-timers, but it only takes one spark to light a deadly fire that would burn down everything. Minato looked at all the members of the council. Only Shikaku, Hiruzen, Kaharu, Hamura, and Shibe had the same look as him on their faces. They must at least have come to the conclusion that things were going to get worse from now on. But still Minato knew he had to be strong. He knew his people needed him. Even though Kushina was his best friend, he would do what was right as the fourth Hokage of the Leaf Village. Kushina Uzumaki is now labeled an S-rank missing nin. If any of you are to encounter her, she must be brought back to the village alive. We cannot lose the Kyuubi," instructed Minato strictly. "Hi," said all the members in unison. "This information will not be put in the bingo book, only you people are entitled with such sensitive information. If I find any of you have broken this rule," said Minato and leaked so much Kai that almost all the wooden desks in the room cracked. The elders were already on the verge of fainting. All the clan heads were sweating badly, even Hiruzen, Danzo, and the Anbu's commander's heartbeat had increased a lot. "I will kill you as well as your entire clan," said Minato dangerously with his fierce blue eyes, sending a clear message to everyone in the room. No one messes with the fourth Hokage of Konoha. Flashback end. Zeus felt respect for the blonde man as a leader who didn't take shit from no one. A tired sigh escaped from Minato's lips. His intuition was true, things had indeed gone worse. Iwa and Kumo had formed an alliance a few months back with the aim of increasing border trades, which will benefit both the villages. Border trade, my ass. Thought Minato with a frown. They were strengthening their military and were preparing for a war. What they wanted from such a feudal war was pointless, but there was going to be a lot of bloodshed soon. Minato's azure eyes went up to a photo frame. A small smile came on his face. It was their family photo. He was standing in his Hokage robes. One of his arms was around Mikoto's waist. She was wearing her Jounin vest and black pants. She was holding Itachi in her arms. There was a wide smile on Itachi's small face, while Naruto stood between him and Mikoto with a very faint smile on his face. Minato and Mikoto both had one of their hands on his shoulders. Naruto was a very unique child, and Minato had known this from the very beginning. Naruto was a sensitive child. His sense of thinking was clearly more advanced than anyone his age. At the age of 4 his sense of thinking was on par with a teenager. Minato was very sad as he couldn't spend much time with him and he had started noticing the change in Naruto's behavior. When he was of Itachi's age he would always try to get Minato's attention, at times he would also demand to spend time with him. But due to Kushina's disappearance and the rising tension between the villages, Minato used to spend almost all the time at the office and increasing Konoha's military force in order to protect the village. Mikoto did try to fill in his role, but nothing could overcome the lack of a father in Naruto's life. Naruto gradually became very silent and started to talk less with him with each passing day. He was never disrespectful or showed any hatred towards Minato, he just was indifferent. It was as if he didn't care about Minato anymore. Minato was very proud of Naruto. He never blamed Itachi for Minato's mistakes. He cared about his mother and family. He was always the first to wish him on his birthday, though he only just said happy birthday and went off, but that was enough for Minato. It showed that there was still hope and he could still get his elder son back. He was interrupted from his thoughts when he felt a pair of soft hands encircle him from his back. He knew who this person was. "If you worry so much, you'll grow old soon," said Mikoto softly. "Nah, I'll never grow old. I'm still the most handsome man in this village," said Minato jovially. "Getting cocky are we?" asked Mikoto with an amused tone. Minato just gave another tired sigh. He gave Mikoto a signal to sit. She slowly came around and sat in a chair beside him and put her hands on his hands. "What's troubling you?" asked Mikoto worriedly. "Naruto," said Minato sadly. "Did he do something?" asked Mikoto curiously. "No, he didn't do anything. You know what I mean," said Minato tiredly. Mikoto gave a nod. She understood what he was thinking. The relationship between her husband and elder son was strained to say in the least. Both of them were right in their own perspective. Minato couldn't spend time with Naruto as many things were happening and he had to look after the village more. She was heartbroken when Kushina had gone missing. A part of her blamed herself for Kushina's fate, but another part of her wanted her to be strong for her two lovely sons. Naruto was disheartened all these years as Minato was never there. Minato couldn't even spend more time with her too. But since the village had become stable again and things were looking good in the shinobi world for a while, Minato was now spending more time with the family and Itachi. She knew Naruto didn't hate his father, it was far from it. He was just disappointed in Minato. Most of all, her elder son had a very mysterious personality. He didn't care much about making friends, he just liked to spend more time with his family. He was usually very quiet and only spoke when necessary. Athena was thinking if it was possible for a kid to be that smart even with a strong lineage, there must be something else in play for the boy, she thought. As his father, you think I would understand him, but I clearly don't know how I can get him back. He probably hates me," said Minato sadly. "That's not true, Minato-kun, he just isn't sure about his feelings. Even though he is smart, he is still a kid. Kids are like that at this age," explained Mikoto with a smile. "I am really proud of him, Mikoto-chan, I'm really happy that Naruto and Itachi get along with each other," said Minato proudly. "He loves his younger brother more than us," said Mikoto warmly. "I am not going to give up, I will help my son in every way possible and make up for my lack of presence in his life for all these years," said Minato with determination. "Now that's my Minato. I'll help you too," said Mikoto with a smile. Minato leaned forward and kissed Mikoto softly on her lips. She kissed him back more lovingly. "What would I ever do without you?" asked Minato softly. They were interrupted from their little romance when they heard two voices. "I told you not to jump, Baka. Now you're hurt," came Naruto's irritated voice. Mikoto immediately got worried and got up to rush to the stairs from where the voice was coming. However, Minato stopped her. She looked at him harshly, but he just told her to sit down and watch. "But Naichin, I wanted you to see how much high I can jump on your bed," came Itachi's cute voice. "Sai, you were lucky you just fell on the bed, what would have happened if you fell on the ground?" asked Naruto sternly. "Sorry," said Itachi silently. Both Naruto and Itachi entered the kitchen and were quite surprised when they saw both of their parents were sitting together and were watching them. Itachi was sitting on Naruto's back and had his legs wrapped around Naruto's waist. Minato gave a smile in return to his sons, while Mikoto was a little worried and immediately came towards them. "What happened?" asked Mikoto worriedly and knelt in front of her sons. Naruto put Itachi down and Mikoto noticed he had a sore ankle. She gave him a very stern glare. "Itachi-kun, what have I told you?" asked Mikoto strictly. "To not jump," said Itachi sheepishly. Mikoto just sighed on her younger son's antics. He really was a handful and always got himself in trouble, he was the exact opposite of his older brother. "Let's get you healed," said Mikoto softly and picked up Itachi and went towards the medicine shelf. Naruto just had an amused smile on his face, he then noticed Minato looking at him. "Naruto, come here. Spend some time with me," said Minato happily. Naruto's eyebrows twitched a bit when he heard those words. All those times he asked his father to spend time with him and he had refused, saying he was busy. And now after 3 years his father finally got some time for him. But still, this was his father and he just decided to obey him and be done with it. He didn't hate his father, but still it pained him every time he remembered the past. He silently went and sat beside Minato. Moments passed, but he didn't utter a word, it was as if there was nothing to say. Minato noticed his son's feelings. Naruto now just called him Tu-sama and not Tu-chan. "I will not back down," thought Minato firmly. "Naruto," said Minato hesitantly. Both father and son rarely talked with each other and this was a rare time when they both were alone. Either Itachi or Mikoto were always around whenever they were near each other. "Yes, Tu-sama," said Naruto neutrally. Minato's heart broke a little when he heard his voice and those words. He really had pushed away his elder son, the village was safe for now, but things had went downhill with him and Naruto. He wanted to know his son, his likes, his dislikes, his dreams and ambitions. "What is your dream, Naruto?" asked Minato kindly with a smile. Naruto just wanted to say he didn't have one and end the talk, but somehow a part of him wanted to say something. He looked at his father briefly for a few moments. The man definitely wanted to talk with him. "Damn my kind heart," thought Naruto frustratingly. I only want to protect my brother, that's all," said Naruto silently, his voice had a little doubt in it. It was as if he didn't consider himself strong enough. "That's a noble dream you have there, son. I'm really proud of you," said Minato proudly. Naruto's eyes widened in surprise when he heard his father was proud of him. A part of his heart was jumping in joy, his father was proud of him. Minato sensed Naruto's surprise, he gave him a kind smile and patted his head. "Naruto, I know I was not there for you for quite some time, but I really love you. You are my first child, my duties as a Hokage got in the way, but I really want to spend time with you. Can you at least give me one chance?" requested Minato kindly with a smile. Naruto looked at his father sadly, he didn't know how much Minato had hurted him. A part of him just wanted to say fuck off and be done with it, but he really wanted to spend time with his father. "I can't just treat him like this. Maybe he really wants to spend time with me. Maybe he does love me too like Itachi. Maybe I'm not just a disappointment to him," thought Naruto curiously. He then immediately disposed off such thoughts, he knew his father must be doing this out of pity, and Naruto never wanted anyone's pity. "You don't have to do this too, Sama, I know you must have more important work to do rather than spend time with me," said Naruto sadly. Minato looked at his son sadly, he knew he had to let his son speak freely. "You probably hate me, huh?" asked Minato calmly, his voice had an understanding tone in it. Naruto's eyes widened in surprise, he didn't mean it that way. "I don't hate you too, Sama," but said Naruto hesitantly. Minato put a hand on his son's shoulders in order to give him some comfort. Naruto looked at him for a moment. He had to tell his father the truth, telling lies wouldn't do good for any of them. "Speak freely," said Minato kindly with a smile. "It's just I cannot forget the past. You were never there for me, I wanted to spend time with you so many times, but you always said you were busy. I know you are the Hokage, I don't hate you," but said Naruto hesitantly. Minato understood what his son was feeling, he didn't blame Naruto for a bit. He knew what he might hear now would break his heart, but he had to endure this as he had caused his son so much pain. "I just don't care about you anymore," said Naruto sadly. Naruto then got up from the table and silently walked away from the room, leaving behind a broken and wide-eyed Minato. A lone tear slipped from Minato's eyes, he really was feeling very sorry for causing his son so much pain. He knew Naruto wouldn't say such a thing if someone had not pushed him up to his limit. "What am I supposed to do?" Everyone was surprised at Naruto feeling for his father, but they can understand somewhat because all of them had a bad father. Chapter 4. "Well, who wants read next?" Annabeth said. "I will," Hestia said, grabbing the book that was passed to her and started reading. Naruto sat alone in the small training ground of his house. It wasn't very big, just a small terrain which included a small lake. There were lots of trees around with training dummies. They must probably be for target practice. "If he was a camp half-blood doing that, the nymphs will be angry at him," Grover said seriously. "That true nymph can be evil and can make you feel pain if pissed off," Apollo said, having seen what an angry nymph can be. "They hate it when the demigods throw cans on the floor near their tree," Percy said, shivering at that particular memory. "Of course they will be, seaweed brain, how would you like it if Thalia messes up your cabin?" Annabeth replied sarcastically. "Well, wise girl, I'm just saying that they don't have to be vicious about it," Percy replied back to her sarcastic comment. "If you're done arguing over what pisses of a nymph, can we go back to reading?" Athena said, annoyed at them for interrupting. "Sorry Lady Hestia, you can read again," Annabeth said while looking at Percy for getting in trouble. Hestia started reading. He had seen his mother practice with her shuriken jutsu many times. His father also sometimes trained here. His thoughts then drifted back to the talk which he had with his father. He didn't hate his father, he still cared about him, but it was just too painful for him to bond with him again. "I don't understand why he can't let bygone be bygone," Percy said. "Well, Percy, how would you feel like if your father only paid attention to your younger brother or siblings? Well, he had little time to pay attention to you," Annabeth said, sadly, causing bad memories to appear when she was living at her father's house. Percy, seeing this, felt bad for bringing it up and was trying to comfort her. Seeing no more interruption, Hestia started reading again. He only wanted to spend time with his father. He always heard people say how great his father was, but in reality he didn't know the man much as he was almost never there in his life. Naruto was trying to understand that his father was trying to make his way back into his family, but he wasn't too comfortable with having his father around after spending almost 3 years without him. He thought about his dream of protecting his younger brother at any cost. In truth, he knew he was weak, he was not a shinobi like his father and mother. He knew if something ever happened then he wouldn't be able to protect Itachi. "But a good goal to be strong by fighting to protect your loved ones," Athena said, showing wisdom. "Please, in war you can't protect everyone, it's about surviving. If they can't stay alive, then they don't deserve to live," Ares said, crossing his arms with a smug smirk on his face, seeing his sister mad face. About to reply to his comment. Zeus had enough with their childish acts. Enough arguing, sorry sister, but can you keep reading? Zeus said while looking at Athena and Ares, daring them to continue. Should he become a shinobi? What purpose would he have besides protecting Itachi? He was interrupted from his thoughts when someone hugged him lovingly from the back. The hands of that person was soft, and the aura that was radiating off that person made Naruto very comfortable and at peace. There was only one person in the entire world who could make him feel like this. "Ah-chan," said Naruto warmly. He went to turn around to face his mother, but she restricted his movements and hugged him more tightly. Naruto got a little confused. "Shhh, just stay with me like this," said Mikoto lovingly. A contented smile came on Naruto's face, he felt happy. All those doubts, negative feelings he was having were slowly fading away with each passing moment. "See now that's a good mother," Hephaestus muttered while looking at his bitch of a mother Hera, who was scowling at his comment. "I know mothers are awesome, they can take away your pain when you're alone," Percy said knowingly, causing the others to look at weirdly. Percy was shifting nervously at the stairs. What, he replied, getting sick of the attention. "Nothing," they all said while some gods were snickering and others were still looking at him. Seeing this, Percy looked at Hestia, pleading could be seen in his eyes to read faster. Deciding to give the boy mercy, she started reading. It was as if his mother was taking away all his pain and filling him with her love. He slowly rested his head gently on his mother's chest and put his hands on her soft hands. It was evening and the sun was setting, the entire scene was just beautiful for Naruto. He didn't know what he would do without his mother. For him she was perfect. She was kind, caring, gentle and even strict when necessary. She always took care of all of them, gave them healthy food, looked after their health, became worried when they were injured. She was the center of the family and all of their lives revolved around her. Naruto didn't know if he loved his brother more or his mother. Both of them were precious to him. Meanwhile, Mikoto was gently caressing her son's blonde hair. She had heard the entire conversation between Minato and Naruto. Even though she was busy healing Itachi's sore ankle, her entire focus was on Naruto's talk with Minato. She was very upset with the fact that things had gotten this worse between her husband and elder son. She knew Naruto was not to blame for any of this. Any child of his age would behave like this, also her son was a logical person. So she knew he wouldn't forgive Minato just like that. She felt very sad on thinking about how much pain her son was in. Why is she sad? I know she loves him and all, but couldn't she just force her husband and son to get along? Apollo said, confused of the mother feeling right now. Think of it like this, Apollo, if you and father started to dislike each other, would you let our mother to try and force you two to get along or try to fix things by yourself? Artemis said to Apollo. Well, I would try to fix things by myself, I mean we're both males, we could handle it. He replied, still not getting it. Yes, I know you're both male, but she is doing her job as a mother and a husband to fix the strain in the family, Artemis said, really annoyed at Apollo's comment about being a male. Are you two done? Hestia said, causing the twins to smile back nervously at her stare, which they nodded. She started reading again. Hey Ka-chan, said Naruto slowly. Mikoto was interrupted from her train of thoughts. She looked at Naruto curiously. I didn't sense your presence when you arrived, said Naruto in confusion. What do you mean? Asked Mikoto curiously. I can always feel people's presence when they are around me, explained Naruto simply. The sensor? Thought Mikoto surprisingly. Naru-chan, try to concentrate now and tell me, what do you feel? Asked Mikoto softly. She was pretty much sure her son had a very unique ability. Sensor ninja were very rare and were extremely useful in the village armies. They could work in recon units, communication units, not to mention in full combat squads. Sensors were one of the most unique and deadly ninja, as they could predict an attack before it is launched. Naruto gave an affirmative nod and closed his eyes. He then slowly tried to concentrate in order to feel what was around him. At first nothing happened for a few moments, his eyebrows twitched a bit when he was not met with success. One more time, thought Naruto with determination. This time he gave his utmost concentration, still he couldn't feel anything around him. It's not working, Ka-chan, said Naruto sadly. Oka, said Mikoto gently, but was cut off when Naruto raised his voice. Wait, I feel something, said Naruto surprisingly. What is it? Asked Mikoto curiously. She was very eager to know whether her son had abilities of a sensor or not. I feel your presence, it's so warm and calm, said Naruto calmly. He can even feel what I'm feeling right now, thought a shocked Mikoto. So he's an empath, said Aphrodite said while having an interesting look on her face, since she thought only her children would have this ability. I don't think he is one, maybe, it's one of the ninja ability that he unlocked or rather had for a while, Athena said with a knowing look. No, it's not a ninja ability if he can sense her emotions, while he have a strong sensing ability he still can sense her emotions, so he would be labeled as an empath, Artemis said, remembering the facts about the world from the note and actually agreeing with the love goddess for once. Causing everyone to look at her, she looked back at them fiercely, daring them to mock her. Seeing no other comments, Hestia started reading again. It was indeed true that she was not concealing her chakra. If she did that, she was pretty much sure Naruto would not be able to sense her presence. Also, she was right beside him, so it would be very easy to recognize her presence. I can feel Itachi's presence in the house, but there is something that is very confusing, Ka-chan, said Naruto with a frown. What's the problem? Asked Mikoto intriguingly. I can feel some people outside our house, but their presence is barely visible. They were there just for a moment, but I lost their presence, said Naruto curiously. I can even feel the Anbu guarding our house. It's amazing, even if it was just for a moment, it was truly something worthy of praise. He must have sent a strong wave of his chakra unconsciously. It must have been pretty strong, but since it was short he lost the Anbu, thought Mikoto tactically. Artemis and Aphrodite had a smug look at being right on their claims. Well, Ka-chan, do you know why I'm able to feel such things? Asked Naruto innocently. It's because you are very special, my Naru-chan. You are a censor, explained Mikoto with a proud smile. Censor? Asked Naruto confusedly. They are special people who can feel other people's presence around them. There are very few censors in the world. The fact that you are one makes me very proud, explained Mikoto with a wide smile. Naruto blushed a little in embarrassment. Mikoto giggled on seeing this and ruffled her son's hair lovingly. Suddenly a question came in Naruto's mind and he decided to ask his mother about it. Then why was I not able to feel your presence? Asked Naruto curiously. Maybe it's because you were not concentrating and I'm a shinobi, so I can hide my presence very well, said Mikoto with a smirk. That's not fair, said Naruto with a cute pout. Is that so? Asked Mikoto with a devious smile on her face. She started tickling her son's chest, earning loud laughter from him. Haha, Ka-chan, please stop, said Naruto in between laughs. He was feeling very happy. Mikoto sensed her son was now comfortable with her and she decided to ask him about his talk with Minato and, if possible, try to explain him to understand his father and his duties as a Hokage. Naru-chan, do you really don't like your two-chan? Asked Mikoto sadly. Naruto sensed the sadness in her voice, but there was no disappointment in her words. He dropped his head in shame. He never wanted to make his mother sad, and now that he had done it, he was quite ashamed of himself. I'm sorry, said Naruto apologetically. A few tears had already started to form in his eyes. Naru-chan, let it out, said Mikoto gently and hugged him tightly. Ah-chan, said Naruto in a choked voice. Tears had already started to drop from his eyes. I'm always going to be there for you. I love you very much and you can be yourself around your Ka-chan. Just cry your pain, I know, said Mikoto in a similar choked voice. She was rubbing Naruto's back affectionately in order to comfort him. Those words were the final nail in the coffin and Naruto couldn't control the dam of tears that had formed in his eyes. All the pain and sadness he felt for all these years due to his father's absence finally took a toll on him. He hugged his mother so tightly that some crease had started to form on her dress, but she didn't back out. This is a very sweet family bonding moment between a mother and a son, Aphrodite said, loving the scene. Everyone else agreed with her except Ares. Please, he's just a wuss with daddy issues, he said mockingly. Everyone glared at him for ruining the moment. Ares didn't care, so he flipped the finger on them. Hestia started reading again before any fight can break out. She hugged him back even more fiercely while whispering comforting words in his ears and rubbing his back simultaneously. He was really thankful to whatsoever God for giving him such a loving mother. She was his world, the only person who understood him completely, and no matter what happened was always there for him. No matter how much mischief he did when he was his brother's age, no matter how much pain it caused her on seeing his dislike for his father, she never abandoned him. She never lost hope in him, and Naruto couldn't understand how could she love him so much. He never did anything significant for her, and yet she loved him immensely. Naruto's emotional outbursts continued for a few minutes until it was reduced to small sobs. Mikoto gently wiped the tears on his face and gave him a gentle kiss on his forehead. I'm sorry for making you sad, Ka-chan. I'm not a good son, said Naruto in an ashamed voice. He was quite surprised when his mother gently lifted his chin so he could look her straight in the eyes. Naruto was quite shocked on seeing the fierce look in her eyes. You're the type of son who every mother wants. You're kind, gentle, caring, you always look after your little brother, always try to help me, and even though things between your two-chan and you have gotten a little rough, I never blame you for it, said Mikoto firmly. What? Asked a shocked Naruto. He expected his mother to blame him but was quite surprised when she said the opposite. Why would he think that she would blame him? Percy said, confused. Well Percy, let's think of it like this, let's say your mother and me were a normal family with you and having a younger brother. I paid attention to only your younger brother when I'm home from work and couldn't really pay attention to you. You would start dismissing me every time you see me because you feel neglected. Now let's say I'm trying to make amends with you by spending more time since I have more free time. Would you still talk to me as a father that neglected you? Seeing you really don't know much about me. You wouldn't then all of a sudden I come back to your life, would you try to make it better? Poseidon said. No, I wouldn't try, Percy said honestly. See, that's why he thinks she blames him for not trying to reconnect with his father. I'm pretty sure she blame him or his father, Poseidon said smartly. Causing Athena to stare blankly at him for handling this well. Seeing no other interruptions, Hestia started reading again. Yes, I do not blame you, and neither do I blame your father. Both of you are right in your own perspective, you only wanted to spend time with your father, while Minato wanted to do the same. Said Mikoto, seriously shocking Naruto to the core. This can't be true, Kacchan, he was never there for me. Said Naruto loudly, his voice contained a little venom in it. Mikoto did not lose her calm and decided to explain the truth to her son. She knew even after this, Naruto wouldn't forgive his father immediately, it will take time, but she had to take the first step. Naru-chan, your father has to protect the village's Hokage. Things have gotten a little bad in the last few years and your father is highly tensed. He still regrets not spending time with you, but just as you are our child, he has to look after all the other children's safety like yours. That is duty as a leader of this village. Explained Mikoto briefly. Some things started making sense in Naruto's mind, now he could understand why his father did that, but that didn't change the fact that he was still disappointed in him. Does that mean I am not important to him? Will he still put others before me? Will I always be a second choice to him in comparison to the villagers? Asked Naruto sadly. Mikoto gave a tired sigh. Naruto was really stubborn in his beliefs, it was as if he was testing her patience. No, you are as important to him as all of us. Do you know it was your father who gave you your name? Said Mikoto with a smirk, she really knew how to handle a situation. Her years at the hospital and treating different people made her understand people better. Really? Asked a surprised Naruto. Hi, he was very happy the day you were born. He even cried tears of joy when he took you in his arms for the first time. He was so excited to teach you everything he knew and wanted to be the best father in the world. Said Mikoto with a gentle smile as she remembered that night. Naruto could now understand a little, he really was surprised that his father was happy to have him. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe he really loves me as much as Itachi. Maybe I should give him a chance. Thought Naruto slowly. Mikoto could read what her son was thinking from the look on his face. A small smirk came on her face as she realized that her first step in improving the relation between her son and her husband was met with a little success. You should give your father a chance, Naru-chan. He really wants to come back in the family, he really loves you and wants to spend time with you and make up for all the times he wasn't there. Explained Mikoto briefly. I'll try, Kacchan said Naruto hesitantly, he really wanted to believe in each and every word his mother had said. But instead of rushing in on blind faith, he would take his time and see if his father really wants to be there for him. Athena had a think look on her face. Artemis seeing this decided to question her, what she was thinking. Well, normally children at that age would normally be happy to spend time with her despite him not being there from work. I'm guessing he have a high IQ for his age or something else, something that we're not seeing is in play, she said, answering Artemis' question. And that is, Artemis said, still confused what she was missing, so we're the other gods and goddesses. I don't know now, but I might have a hunch on what is, so we would have to wait and read before I reveal anything, Athena said. Hestia started reading again. Now that's my Naru-chan. I'm really proud of you, take your time and try to gather your feelings slowly. Said Mikoto with a vibrant smile on her face. Hi, said Naruto slowly. Mikoto sensed Naruto's uncomfortable behavior and decided to change the topic. Naru-chan, do you want to become a shinobi? Asked Mikoto seriously. I just want to protect my brother. Said Naruto slowly. Mikoto smiled again on hearing those words again. She really felt very happy that her two boys were so close to each other. But what about the people of this village? Asked Mikoto seriously, she knew she had to guide her son on the right path if he wanted to be a shinobi. Protecting Itachi was a noble dream, but Naruto was the elder son and heir of the Namikaze clan. The villagers had great expectations from him, and some even thought that her son could become the next Hokage. How? Why? Apollo said, confused. Because of his lineage, well, his father is the leader of the village, we also have to remember that his mother was an heiress before she married, so of course they would expect great things from him, Athena said logically. But they're putting a lot of pressure on one kid, he going to mature faster than he's supposed to and not have a normal childhood. Surprisingly, it was Percy who commented. It's a village full of ninjas, what childhood can they have? Annabeth replied back. It doesn't matter where they are, a child is supposed to have a great childhood where they don't have to grow up too fast, he replied. Well, what about demigods? We didn't have a great childhood, we were always on the run, running from monsters. That doesn't spell happy childhood. She replied angrily at his comment. What the hell is your problem? Why are you being so snappy at me? Percy said, confused at her behavior. Nothing is wrong with me, seaweed brain, I'm just answering your stupid comment, she replied. Percy was getting angry at her behavior before he can retort. Hestia started reading again, which caused him to huff, cross his arms on his chest and moved away from Annabeth and closer to Grover, who else was shocked at Annabeth's tone. Huh? Asked Naruto curiously, he had never thought about that. Mikoto took a deep breath in order to explain it to Naruto in detail. Nari-chan, protecting your little brother is a noble dream, but shinobi are always entrusted with the safety of this village and the people live in it. You are the son of the Hokage and the heir to our clan. The villagers and shinobi have high expectations from you. Explained Mikoto briefly. But I don't know if I can live up to their expectations. Why is it necessary for me to protect the people of this village? Asked Naruto curiously. That's because we are one big family, we take care of each other. Your father looks after the entire village and protects it. Your grandfather and uncle take care of the Uchiha clan and also protect the village from its enemies. I am a shinobi too, and I am ready to protect the village and my family at all costs because you all are precious to me. Explained Mikoto with a smile. I understand. Said Naruto calmly. Don't worry, Nari-chan, there is nothing you should be afraid of. I think it is a good thing that you are trying to become a shinobi. It shows that you understand that to be a ninja you have to start right at the bottom and work your way up and protect your precious people. Said Mikoto calmly. Really? He asked with her nodding. If you like I can go over it with you and teach you how to access your chakra. She said, making him get a hopeful look on his face. Really, you would do that? Don't you have other things you need to do today? Asked Naruto curiously. I don't have a shift at the hospital today and it is either help you or get bored sitting at home. And how could I ever not want to help my little Naru-chan? Said Mikoto with a playful smile. She picked Naruto up from his spot and put him in her lap as she leaned against a nearby tree. Are you ready? Asked Mikoto seriously. Hi, said Naruto enthusiastically. Now I'll first explain what is chakra, okay? Asked Mikoto and Naruto nodded. Chakra is the mixture between spiritual energy and the body's physical energy. It is essential to every jutsu technique that has and ever will be created. Once molded, it can be channeled through the chakra circulatory system, which is to chakra as the regular circulatory system is to blood, to any of the 361 chakra points in the body. Through various methods, the most common of which is hand seals. Explained Mikoto briefly. Does everyone possess chakra, Ka-chan? Asked Naruto curiously. Yes, every human being possesses chakra, though only a few are able to use it. Said Mikoto. What is jutsu, Ka-chan? Asked Naruto intriguingly. Mikoto smiled a little when she saw how curious her son was. Most kids his age would be bored on hearing so much theory, but her son was different. Jutsu are the mystical arts a ninja will utilize in battle. To use a technique, the ninja will need to use their chakra. To perform a technique, the ninja will bring out and release the two energies of chakra. By forming hand seals, the ninja is able to manifest the desired technique. Because of the extensive number of hand seals and different combinations, there are thousands of potential techniques to be discovered. Explained Mikoto in detail, and Naruto nodded. So what are hand seals? He asked curiously. Hand seals perform many ninjutsu, jinjutsu, and other secret arts other than taijutsu. The exact amount of chakra necessary to perform a simple technique is manipulated through hand seals. This will vary between the simplest of jutsus to the most dynamic and most powerful. Explained Mikoto calmly. The hand seals are bird, boar, dog, dragon, ox, tiger, serpent, rat, horse, monkey, hare and ram. Continued Mikoto and performed every one of the hand signs. So that's how they fight, Athena said, interested in their type of fighting. She was shocked when her little son performed each and every hand seal perfectly in the first try. His speed was slow, but she was amazed by his sense of observation. It was common for a shinobi to learn hand seals quickly, but Naruto was a kid and he had indeed surprised her. Wow, Naru-chan, you performed each hand seal perfectly. How did you do it? Asked a surprised Mikoto, but her voice was indeed full of pride. I just saw you perform them, Ka-chan. They are very easy. Said Naruto sheepishly. But still I'm very proud of you. Said Mikoto warmly. Thank you, Ka-chan. Said Naruto with a wide smile. The two sat there for about an hour as Mikoto explained about chakra to Naruto in very detail. She wanted him to understand the science completely and was trying to explain it to him in the simplest way. She also made sure he was aware of what made up chakra and how many chakra points there are in the body, even pointing to the places where certain ones were on her arms. Do you understand, Naruto? She asked him as he sat there on her lap and saw him nod. Can we try to see if I can use my chakra? He asked since he looked a little eager to begin. Sure, Mikoto said warmly as Naruto hopped out of her lap and sat in front of her. Get in a meditative pose like I am doing, instructed Mikoto and sat in the position. Naruto watched and tried himself, though Mikoto had to help him a little since his legs were still so little. You comfortable? She asked, and with Naruto nodding his head, she decided to continue further. Okay Nari-chan, first I want you to make this hand sign. This is the ram hand sign. Using any one of the hand signs will help to bring out your chakra and bring it to the surface. The ram head sign is the one most used when starting out to first draw their chakra. Explained Mikoto briefly and performed the hand sign. Like this? Asked Naruto curiously and performed the hand seal perfectly which Mikoto was showing him. Now to draw out your chakra you have to dig deep inside and try to draw it out. Search deep down and wait until you feel a warm sensation in your stomach. When you feel it, try to focus in on it and then pull it out to the surface. I will demonstrate. Said Mikoto seriously. Naruto watched as his mother closed her eyes, taking a few deep breaths before exhaling. After about 10 seconds Naruto felt a strong burst of energy come from his mother, which surprised him immensely. He could feel how warm it was, and though it was nowhere near as big as his father, but he felt it flowing smoothly from her. He observed attentively for a few moments and was able to see a blue-like aura appearing around her. Was that chakra Ka-chan, the blue thing around you? Asked Naruto excitedly. He really wanted to do the exercise after watching his mother. She opened her eyes, and Naruto could see the blue aura had now disappeared. Mikoto smiled when she saw her son's excited face. It was. Try to extract enough chakra, then it can become visible around you and will be a light blue color. Explained Mikoto happily. Now it is my turn, said Naruto happily, and his mother nodded softly. Oh, don't be sad if you don't manage to do it, Naru-chan. It takes time to activate your chakra for the first time. Advised Mikoto sagely. Okay, but I will try my best, said Naruto with determination. Mikoto smiled and settled for watching her son access his chakra for the first time. It was a really nostalgic moment for her, and her eyes became a little moist as she realized her little boy was now growing up. She watched as Naruto closed his eyes and took deep breaths similar to what she did moments ago. The ram hand sign he made was shaking a little, but she knew it was because Naruto was very excited as he did not want to let her down. Even the Anbu that were guarding their house were a little curious on seeing the Hokage's son's performance. Though that did not mean they were not focused on their job. A few minutes passed and Naruto opened his eyes with sad look on his face. I couldn't find it. I did not feel that warm feeling in my tummy. Said Naruto disappointingly. That's okay Naru-chan. I did say you might not be able to do it the first time around. It takes a few tries to first do it. You just have to keep trying and eventually it will happen. Said Mikoto encouragingly. Okay, I guess I can try again, he said as he got back in his meditative pose and made the ram hand sign again. He closed his eyes and took a few more deep breaths. Mikoto watched her son try again, she didn't know why, but she had a feeling that her son would be successful this time. Maybe it was a mother's intuition. I have to find a pull in my tummy, thought Naruto firmly and searched around in his body while keeping as calm as he could. After another minute he still could not feel it, so he gritted his teeth a little in frustration. I need to unlock my chakra so I can protect Ka-chan, Itachi, and maybe someday even Tusama, thought Naruto determinedly. Just when he finished he felt a pull in his stomach and felt a warm sensation appear there. Could this be my chakra? Thought Naruto curiously and started doing as Mikoto had said and focused more on the warm sensation and started pulling it to the surface. When he did it felt like his whole body suddenly became warm and felt his fingers and his toes tingle. Outside Mikoto smiled a big smile when she saw a tiny blue aura appear around her son. She was about to go forward and hug him. She wanted to congratulate him for activating his chakra for the first time, but was a little caught off guard when she felt the power of his chakra. His chakra, it's so much powerful. Though it is very small, but it is stronger than my own. Thought an amazed Mikoto. Though she also felt how untamed it felt. Once Naruto got used to activating his chakra, she would most likely have to show him one of the basic chakra control exercises. Even the Anbu guarding the house were amazed by the power of Naruto's chakra. It was growing more powerful with each passing second. Mikoto decided it was enough now as Naruto would be very tired by now and she did not want him to overdo it. Mikoto shook Naruto a little which made him lose focus and the chakra he was emitting stopped. He opened his eyes to his mother looking at him with joyful looks on their face which made him smile a big smile. I did it. Said Naruto happily and jumped high in the air. Mikoto was quite surprised that Naruto even had this much energy left, however her suspicion proved correct when her son suddenly felt tired and his body got a little stiff and he started to fall towards ground. However Mikoto was in front of him in an instant and caught him in a warm embrace. There were a few tears in her eyes, these were not tears of sadness, but of joy and pride. Why do I feel sleepy? asked Naruto innocently as he yawned in Mikoto's arms. Silly Naru-chan, you pushed out a lot of chakra when you activated it, which has now left you feeling tired. Don't worry, after some rest and some food in your tummy you will be fine," said Mikoto happily. Naruto just gave a very small nod, he really felt a lot tired than before. "I think this is enough for the day. Let's go home. I'll make ramen for you," said Mikoto happily and picked up Naruto. He wrapped his small legs around her waist and nuzzled his head against her chest, with her long bangs falling on his face and covering his face a little under their shadow. "Really?" asked Naruto sleepily, he really loved when his mother made his favorite dish. She was indeed a very great cook. "Hi," said Mikoto warmly. All the gods were smiling at this, so were the goddesses, knowing full well how their favorite food can cheer them up when they're depressed. They started walking back towards the house at a slow pace. It was indeed a very tiring day for Naruto. Halfway there Naruto spoke up. "Hey, Ka-chan." "Yes, Naru-chan?" asked Mikoto softly. "What kind of a ninja are you?" he asked, surprising her a little, though she answered. "Well, I am a medic nin. I practice medical ninjutsu, which is why I work mainly at the hospital," said Mikoto happily. "Medical ninjutsu? What's that?" asked Naruto curiously, making his mother giggle a little as she noticed how curious he was even when he was very tired. "Medical ninjutsu is a type of ninjutsu that is used to heal people when they get hurt," explained Mikoto in simple words so her son could understand easily. "Like when people are sick and not feeling good?" asked Naruto curiously. "Exactly, I am okay at fighting, but I prefer healing people, which is why I am the head of the hospital and our village's medical department. I train shinobi to become medics," explained Mikoto briefly. "Wow, you are really amazing, Ka-chan," said Naruto happily. "Thank you, my dear Naru-chan," said Mikoto with a smile. "So does that mean you are really powerful too?" he asked, making her smile again. "I am nowhere near as powerful as your father, but I like to think that I am capable of looking after myself. I am a Jounin level ninja, so I know how to defend myself, which is the main thing," said Naruto with a nod. Both mother and son reached the door of their house. Naruto could feel sleep trying to overtake him and he knew he could resist now. He was at his limit. He pressed his head tightly against his mother's chest and closed his eyes. A small innocent smile came on his face. Mikoto gently looked at her son. "He looks so adorable," thought Mikoto happily. Naruto gently grabbed her silky bangs that were falling on his face. "Ah-chan, you really have beautiful hair," said Naruto sleepily. A wide smile came on Mikoto's face when she heard her son praising her hair. She gently ruffled Naruto's hair and gave him a small kiss on his cheek. "Thank you, Naru-chan," said Mikoto lovingly. "I love you, Ka-chan," said Naruto warmly, and slowly sleep overtook him. "I love you too, my little Naru-chan," said Mikoto warmly. She really loved her son the most in the world. She knew she was the bridge that was holding their family together and lived peacefully. She was determined to be the best mother, best wife, best friend and best guide for her sons and husband. "I'll make things better. I promise," thought Mikoto with determination. Escha was smiling at the happy moment. She was about to ask who else want to read when suddenly more teens appear. What if the gods read about Naruto Percy Jackson? End here, and thanks for watching my video till the end.